when you threw that interception and then the defense came up with a huge stop, how much of a boost was that to the entire team to know that this, to see that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's huge for defense to bow up like that, and really, I'm hoping field goal. Like, let's hold them to a field goal. And then obviously they go for it on fourth down, and Jerry Hughes makes a great play. We get back on the field and we went 3 and out. So we know we didn't play good enough, but got into a groove later in that quarter and really throughout the game. But still, too many balls on the ground, too many ways the ball was in harm's way. So there's a lot of things to clean up. But this was a good win.
Dawson, Emmanuel said that the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's just looked like it's clicked for you. So what has gone so right for you the last couple weeks?
I mean, it's just trying to get better every day, whether it's, catching, run blocking, pass protection. I don't think a whole lot has changed, but just kind of stacking good days on good days like in practice, treating every day like it's a game, just getting mentally prepared, getting in the weight room. I mean, just the little things you do start to add up.
Little things that you do right start to add up, and this guy does everything right throughout the week, and it's awesome to play with him.
Oh, thank you. We need some more prom pics. I mean, it's great. I always like playing with the chip on my shoulder ever since I was a walk-on in college. Just never being satisfied with my game is always a big thing, just kind of having that mindset of, you're never content with where you're at. But when I got a guy like him, throwing to me, and then the O-line doing a great job up front, giving him time, I mean, I think our confidence as an offense is just going to keep getting better.
What are some examples of what he does right? You mentioned, so what would you?
I mean, the way, like he said, he was a walk-on and wasn't at tight end, right? He was at quarterback.
At first.
Yeah, so this guy's been playing tight end for maybe 4 or 5 years, and it's just not a natural thing to go from quarterback to tight end. It takes some time, but you see the progression, how he's trusted the process. He does everything right, whether it be blocking, whether it be pass catching, whether it be running routes. He just finds ways to get open. I got supreme trust in this guy right here, and he's only going to continue to get better.
Get back to the offseason and the list of needs for the Bills. Playmaking tight end was one of them. I'm just wondering, when you say you play with a chip on your shoulder, does that have anything to do with it?
I mean, I think it comes down to controlling what you can control. There's always going to be a lot of noise outside, talking about trades for certain players, acquiring different, free agents, but we got to focus on us. I got to focus on myself. I got to get better every day. As soon as I start worrying about, what people are saying about the tight end position or about the offense, that's the second you start to kind of slip and lose focus on where you want to be. So we talk about ignoring the noise a lot, and I think that's been a big thing for me.
Dawson been balling out, man. You getting more and more confidence in him because I see you starting to look for him more.
Absolutely. And again, it's just a guy that does the right things, and you can't not trust him because he works so hard. And again, he continues to make plays for this team. And again, like I said, whether it be passing or run blocking, and I think that's something that people really don't realize about his run blocking, how much better of a run blocker he's been this year. And he's really put in the time. That's a focus that tight ends need to be able to do, and we got one of the best in the league that can do it.
You didn't know who you were playing last week next. Can you now look ahead to facing the Chiefs in a rematch of the AFC Championship?
I mean, yeah, it's no surprise that I think you guys are going to make a big deal out of it. But again, it's one game. It's the best game. It's the biggest game that we got because it's the next game. But we won't turn our attention towards them really till tomorrow. Got to get in, watch the film from this one, learn what we need to learn from our tape, and then turn our attention towards them.
What have you learned about this team through the first month of the season? Now you got 4 games behind you.
I mean, I think resiliency is one of the words that comes to my mind when I think about it. Didn't start off the season how we'd like to. Didn't start off today, play one how we'd like to. But it's, Coach McDermott, like I said, does a great job of teaching situational football and complementary football. And I think that's one thing we're doing a really good job of right now is feeding off of each other on both sides and really all on 3 phases of the football. So, again, we got to continue to find ways to get better. Like I said, too many balls in the ground, too many balls in harm's way today through the air. Sometimes the defense is going to make plays. We understand that, but try to limit those opportunities as much as possible.
That being said, Josh, what does it mean as you run the offense to know that this defense is playing overall at the level that it is?
I mean, it gives us a lot of confidence for sure that we can go out there and not try to force plays down the field. Understand that we want to be us, and that's continue to move the chains on third down. Try to skip third downs most importantly, but if we don't, at least we're trying to end every drive in a kick and understand that our defense is going to have our back, but we got to be there for them as well. So, they're playing lights out right now. 2 shutouts in the last 3 weeks. That doesn't really happen in the NFL too often. So, we appreciate those guys. They're playing extremely well. Coach Frazier and Coach McDermott are getting them fired up and putting together good game plans.
The first half, their defense actually played pretty well. They held you to a touchdown. They were tough in the red zone. You think as the game went on, though, starting the second half, did it feel like you were starting to wear them down as that game progressed?
I think it's just all about executing. Just the simple stuff. We kind of got a feel for what they were doing, and Dave's had some awesome adjustments at halftime and just continuing to do the little things right, one play at a time. And, obviously, I think we were able to put a lot of points up, whether it was wearing them down or whether it was, us just executing a little better. We'll see what we did right on the film tomorrow, and we'll just kind of use those things to keep getting better.
In the summer, you talked about how you worked with a vision specialist, and now that we're 4 games in, just how much do you feel the benefits of that, I guess?
So Ryan Harrison out in Southern California, shout out. It was awesome. I got with him several times when I was out there. Was able to throw with Josh a few times out there. I think you actually saw him at one point. Yeah, but he's really cool with what he does. But I think it just comes down to confidence and just being disciplined with my eyes. And, a lot of times last year there were a few balls that I thought were easy. I'd start looking upfield and just have some bad drops. But as soon as you start thinking about trying not to drop the ball, that's when you start having drops. So I think it's just that consistency in practice, getting his trust, and just like I said earlier, just stacking those good practices, stacking those good games will just keep getting our confidence up.
Josh, Spencer had his first start today. How did you think he handled it, and how did you think he played?
I think he handled it like a pro. He's a guy, like I said, like going back to last week, even in preseason, a guy that just pops off the tape. Like effort, his attitude. He's everything that you want in a lineman. So I'm extremely glad that we drafted him and we're able to kind of get him into the game plan now and get him going because he's a special player. And I got a lot of faith in him. I got a lot of faith in really all of our guys right now. They continue to show up and do their job, continue to learn throughout the week. But yeah, he's going to be a good player for a very long time.
Josh, the team finished with 199 yards on the ground. With the weather the way it was, how important was it to be able to run the ball today?
Very important. Weather, you can let it affect you if you think about it too much. We still wanted to throw the ball and do what we needed to do, but when teams get one-dimensional and just start running the ball, especially when the weather and teams force you to throw the ball, you got to be able to throw it. But you look at some of the runs that we had with Zach and Motor, bouncing off tackles, putting their nose down and just going and getting yards, and they did a great job. Our O-line did a great job of opening some holes for them. But those guys ran it extremely hard today. I think they had 60 and 70, each. So that's good to see when you got balance and the guys that can go out there and just, like I said, go get yards for you.
Josh, for you, how have you seen Tyler Bass grow from last season to this season?
He's such a confident kid. I love that we have him. He's just a baller. And most specialists in this league, they've been kickers for a very long time, and they just have their routine. Tyler is a football player, and it is so awesome. It's so refreshing to see him care so much about it, get so juiced for kicking the ball. But he takes it so seriously, and really all of our specialists, all 3 guys, Matt, Reed, and him, they do such a good job together. They spend a lot of time together, working and perfecting their craft. It's awesome.